Imagine this: a young woman checks into a hotel in one of the busiest cities in the world. Just days later, she disappears without a trace. The search for her stretches on for weeks, with no sign of what happened to her until her body is found in the most shocking and bizarre place imaginable. This is the story of Elisa Lam, a case that continues to baffle investigators and captivate the public. Her tragic death raises more questions than it answers, making it one of the most haunting and mysterious cases of the 21st century. What really happened to Elisa Lam? Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old Canadian student from Vancouver. She was the daughter of immigrants from Hong Kong, growing up in a close-knit family. Like many her age, Elisa was an active user of social media, often sharing her thoughts and struggles online. One of her greatest challenges was her ongoing battle with mental health. Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, conditions she openly wrote about on her blog. She documented her experiences with medication therapy and the emotional highs and lows that came with her illnesses. In early 2013, Elisa decided to take a solo trip to California, seeking adventure and a break from her routine. Her plan was to visit various cities, including Los Angeles. It was a journey she looked forward to, a way to reset and explore. Little did anyone know that this trip would take a tragic turn and lead to one of the most mysterious cases in recent history. In late January 2013, Elisa Lam arrived in Los Angeles and checked into the Cecil Hotel, located in the heart of downtown. The Cecil was known for its affordable rates, making it popular with budget travelers like Elisa. However, beneath its low prices lay a darker history. The hotel, built in the 1920s, had long been infamous for its connection to crime, tragedy, and strange events. Over the decades, it had been the site of numerous deaths, including suicides and even murders. Infamous figures like serial killer Richard Ramirez had once stayed there, further tarnishing its reputation. At the time of Elisa's stay, the hotel was trying to rebrand itself, but its dark past was hard to shake off. This ominous history would later feed into the public's fascination with Elisa's disappearance and the mystery surrounding her death. Unbeknownst to her, Elisa had walked into a place already haunted by its own disturbing legacy. On January 31st, 2013, Elisa Lam was last seen alive. She was staying at the Cecil Hotel and was spotted in the lobby by hotel staff. Everything appeared normal, and there were no immediate signs that something was wrong. That same day, Elisa made contact with her family, who she had been keeping in touch with throughout her trip. But after that, communication suddenly stopped. Her family grew worried when they didn't hear from her, as it was out of character for Elisa to go silent. She was supposed to check out of the hotel the next day, but she never did. This was the moment when things started to take a strange turn. Elisa had simply vanished, with no warning, leaving everyone wondering what could have happened in just a few short hours. On February 1st, 2013, when Elisa Lam failed to contact her family as expected, they knew something was wrong. Concerned for her safety, her family reported her missing to the authorities. The LAPD quickly began their investigation, focusing on the Cecil Hotel, where she had last been seen. Police spoke with hotel staff, who confirmed that Elisa had been staying there but had not been seen since January 31st. They combed through the hotel, searching her room and common areas for any signs of her, but nothing seemed out of place. There was no evidence of a struggle or any indication of where Elisa could have gone. Despite their efforts, the search turned up nothing. Elisa had vanished without a trace, leaving investigators and her family desperate for answers. At this point, her disappearance was a complete mystery. On February 14, 2013, the LAPD released surveillance footage from the Cecil Hotel's elevator, recorded on the night of Elisa Lam's disappearance. This eerie video quickly became a major focus in the case and spread widely across the internet. In the footage, Elisa is seen behaving strangely. She presses multiple buttons in the elevator, but the doors remain open. She steps in and out of the elevator several times, looking out into the hallway, as if expecting someone to appear. At one point, she seems to be hiding in the corner, as if avoiding someone. What puzzled viewers the most was her behavior. Elisa appears to be talking or gesturing to someone unseen, though no one else can be seen on camera. Her actions are erratic and confusing, adding to the mystery surrounding her disappearance. This chilling footage left everyone asking what exactly was happening in those moments, and who, if anyone, was Elisa interacting with. After the elevator footage was released, it quickly went viral, capturing the attention of people worldwide. As viewers watched Elisa's strange behavior, speculation ran wild. The internet became flooded with countless theories trying to explain what could have been happening that night. Some believed Elisa was hiding from someone, possibly a stalker or a threat that wasn't captured on camera. Her constant peeking out of the elevator and pressing multiple buttons seemed to suggest she was trying to escape or confuse whoever might have been following her. Others thought she might have been under the influence of drugs, though no drugs were found in her system during the investigation. Many also considered the possibility that she was experiencing a mental health episode, given her known struggles with bipolar disorder. Her unusual gestures and movements seemed to align with symptoms of mania or paranoia. These theories only deepened the mystery, fueling public fascination and turning Elisa's case into a worldwide discussion. Everyone had their own idea of what might have happened, but no one could agree on the answer. On February 19, 2013, nearly 3 weeks after Elisa Lam disappeared, guests at the Cecil Hotel began complaining about the water. They noticed low water pressure, and some even reported a strange taste and color in the water coming from their taps. Concerned about these issues, hotel staff went to check the water tanks located on the roof of the building. What they found was beyond shocking. Inside one of the large tanks, Elisa Lam's body was floating. It was a gruesome and horrifying discovery that no one could have anticipated. How Elisa ended up in the water tank, which was difficult to access, raised even more questions. This discovery would mark a tragic and mysterious turning point in the investigation, but it still left many unanswered questions about the events leading up to her death. One of the biggest mysteries in Elisa Lam's case is how she ended up on the hotel's roof. The doors leading to the roof were supposed to be locked and alarmed to prevent unauthorized access. There were no signs of forced entry, and security footage did not show anyone entering the roof area during the time Elisa went missing. So how did Elisa manage to get up there? One theory is that someone with access to the roof may have let her in. Another possibility is that Elisa herself found a way to access the roof, though this would have been difficult given the security measures in place. The lack of clear answers about how Elisa reached the roof only adds to the puzzling nature of her disappearance and death. It remains one of the most baffling aspects of the case. When Elisa's body was found in the water tank, the condition of her body added to the confusion. She was discovered naked, with her clothes floating beside her in the tank. This detail was unsettling, as it suggested something unusual had occurred. There were no visible signs of trauma or struggle on Elisa's body. The autopsy revealed that she had drowned, but there were no indications of physical harm. This lack of obvious injuries or signs of a fight left investigators and the public with more questions than answers about the circumstances of her death. In June 2013, the autopsy results for Elisa Lam were released. The coroner ruled her death as accidental drowning. However, the toxicology report showed no traces of illegal drugs or alcohol in her system. This was surprising and left many puzzled because it meant there were no clear substances that could explain her behavior. Despite the official ruling, many questions remained unanswered. The circumstances surrounding her death and the lack of any obvious cause of trauma or struggle left room for speculation. One theory that emerged was related to Elisa's mental health. She had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression. Some suggested that she may have been experiencing a psychotic episode at the time of her death, which could have influenced her actions and led her to behave in the strange manner seen in the elevator footage. Additionally, Elisa had been prescribed medication to manage her mental health conditions. Some experts believe that her erratic behavior might have been linked to issues with her medication. Perhaps she wasn't taking it as prescribed, or her medication might not have been effectively managing her symptoms at the time. This theory adds another layer to the mystery but doesn't fully explain how she ended up in the water tank. The Cecil Hotel, where Elisa Lam was last seen, has a history marked by darkness and tragedy. Over the years, the hotel has been the site of numerous suicides and violent crimes. It also housed notorious figures like Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, who committed several of his crimes while staying there. This grim history has led many to question whether the hotel's sinister past played a role in Elisa's death. The strange circumstances surrounding Elisa's death fueled various conspiracy theories. Some people believe that foul play was involved and suspect that the police might have covered up important details of the case. Others think that supernatural forces could be at work, given the hotel's reputation and the mysterious nature of her disappearance and death. In the legal aftermath, Elisa's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the Cecil Hotel. They argued that the hotel should have taken better precautions to prevent access to the roof and water tanks. which could have prevented her tragic death. However, the lawsuit was dismissed, as the court found that the hotel was not legally responsible for the incident. After Elisa Lam's tragic death, the Cecil Hotel faced significant backlash. In an effort to distance itself from its dark past, the hotel underwent a rebranding and changed its name to stay on Main. This was an attempt to move away from the negative associations and tragic events like Elisa's death. Despite this effort, public interest in the case remained strong and persistent. The case quickly took on a life of its own on the internet. True crime enthusiasts, conspiracy theorists, and YouTubers delved into every detail of Elisa's story, creating countless discussions and analyses. This ongoing online activity helped keep Elisa's story alive in popular culture, with people around the world continuing to debate and explore the mysterious circumstances of her death. In 2021, the Netflix documentary crime scene The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel brought renewed attention to Elisa Lam's case. The documentary provided new perspectives and context, further investigating the events leading up to her death. While it added depth to the story, it also left viewers with lingering questions, showing just how complex and unresolved the case remains. In conclusion, Elisa Lam's death remains a haunting and unsolved mystery. Even with the official ruling of accidental drowning, the strange circumstances and numerous unanswered questions ensure that her story continues to captivate and perplex people around the world. And with that said, thanks for watching True Stories. If this tale of mystery and superstition caught your interest, hit that subscribe button to join us for more fascinating stories from history's strangest corners. Until next time, stay curious.